Is it better to be a part of a brick and mortar brokerage, or is it better to be a part of the new cloud-based real estate brokerage model? In today's video, we're going to be talking about and breaking down both brokerage models, and we're going to be discussing some of the pros and cons of both models, including the old standard brick and mortar brokerage option, where you have that more in-person model and an in-person office, versus the more virtual cloud-based brokerage model where everything is more online. You have all the tools and resources online within a touch of a button, but you don't have a physical office. So when it comes to brick and mortar real estate brokerages, the biggest pro is that you have a physical office to go to. This means you can go into the office and meet your clients in person. This is also great because you can meet with other agents right in the office and get that direct accountability and work directly with other agents on a day-to-day basis, having that close and personal relationship. Another really big pro of the brick and mortar brokerage option is that they tend to be bigger brands. Most of those brokerages have been around for longer than any of the brokerages that are the cloud-based brokerage models, because most of the new brokerages are cloud-based models, and they're going to need a little bit more time to grow and build that big brand. That the brick and mortar brokerages have an advantage because they have in-person offices, which can help to make that brand stay a little bit stronger and pop a little bit more into the future as well. Another advantage of a brick and mortar brokerage model is that you have options for really great training and support and programs within those brokerages and even teams within those brokerages that you can directly work under and sometimes get direct help and support from within that brokerage model, so you can start making money right away and get that support that you need right away, as well as getting maybe leads or different types of training that you might need when you're a new agent in particular. Now, if you are an experienced agent and you don't really need that in-person touch and don't want an in-person office, then the cloud-based brokerage option might be a better fit for you. There are some downsides to having that brick and mortar brokerage option with the in-person office, because there is a lot of overhead with the brick and mortar brokerages, meaning you have higher splits that you're paying to the brokerage. You're tending to pay more fees and higher splits, and sometimes you don't even have a cap in some of those brick and mortar brokerage options. So you're paying out a lot more, especially if you're making a lot of money doing real estate as an agent. You're paying a lot more to the brokerage and oftentimes receiving less benefits outside of having that in-person office and having that in-person atmosphere. If you're a self-starter and can do a lot at home and can do a lot virtually, then you might not need all of that, and it might not be as great of a benefit, and then you're also paying more money in that case. So with going virtual, you could be saving a lot of money and being also more efficient. When it comes to brick and mortar brokerages, they tend to be less tech savvy and a little bit less tech. They don't evolve as quickly as some of these online brokerage models, where they're always trying to innovate and stay ahead of all of the other online brokerages and are trying to be competitive. Like having an online university, they're going to have the best online courses and tools, as opposed to an in-person university. They might have some online tools and resources, but they're not going to be as adaptable and they're not going to be as up to date as something that specializes in having technology and online features, like a online and virtual brokerage, like a cloud-based real estate brokerage like EXP or Epique Realty. Also, with the brick and mortar brokerage option, they tend to be a little bit less flexible and more geographically limited, meaning that your office is in one place and it can feel like your office is in this one specific area. So you might feel more tied to that area and have less options to expand beyond that area or state that brokerage might be in. Oftentimes, brick and mortar brokerages They're not always the big franchise brokerages. They sometimes are those more local brokerage options. And when it comes to those smaller boutique brokerages that have offices and are also brick and mortar brokerages, they don't have that same flexibility. If you get licensed in another state or want to move states or want to do real estate in multiple states, you're going to be much more limited in that case, and you might need to have either multiple brokerages or be more limited in what you do. When it comes to the cloud-based brokerage model, there are a lot of pros. One of the biggest pros is having less overhead cost, which means that the brokerage can give more back to agents, which means that the brokerages can give more to the agents, including lower fees and lower splits, as well as lower caps or even just having a cap. This allows you as the agent to keep more of your hard-earned money, and this allows for really great opportunity for you to invest back into your business and for you to get more growth as well. And this also gives you a lot of remote flexibility. This allows you to set your own schedule, set your own pace. You also have more time where you're not traveling back and forth from the office. You're able to set your own schedule, set your own pace, and figure out exactly how you want to do things. You're going to have a lot more flexibility oftentimes in the case of cloud-based brokerages. You really can be your own boss, set your own schedule, and the way you do things, the money you make, you get to keep a lot more of it as well. It's much more along the lines of having your own business, which really is what real estate is. Being a real estate agent is not a normal job. It's a business. The brick and mortar brokerage option can make it feel like you're working for a company and make it feel like you have a job. But ultimately, when you're a real estate agent, you are technically your own business. And with the brick and mortar brokerage option, it can feel like you're working for a job, but in reality, you're not. You're working for yourself. And ultimately, you're in charge of bringing in your own money. With the cloud-based brokerage model, you have more flexibility and more take home at the end, which gives you more scalability for your business, more flexibility to invest back into your business, and allows you to build out that business however you want. And the biggest pro of the cloud-based brokerage model is the rev share model, getting money back as well as stock investment in these cloud-based brokerages, meaning you're getting money back. So whatever you're bringing to the company, if you're bringing a lot of success to the company, whatever policies that each individual company has, you're oftentimes getting a lot of really great stock benefits and rev share benefits, especially when you're bringing in other agents and helping to grow the company. With other brokerages, oftentimes you're not getting that big of a benefit. That money tends to funnel up to agents higher up in the company who are working more regionally and are a regional manager or a regional part of the company, and they're taking in a large share of money from all these agents that are joining the company. And with the cloud-based brokerage model, there's still money coming into the brokerage, even though the splits are lower and agents are keeping more of their money. Because there's much lower costs, there's still profitability to this brokerage model, but the money that's coming in is also being paid forward and given back to agents who help to recruit other agents. It really comes down to which brokerage model you join as far as how much of a downline you might have. The downline really only applies to recruiting focused agents. In the case of a brokerage like Epique Realty, which is a brokerage I'm a part of, where all 5 levels are unlocked. If you recruit an agent and then they recruit an agent and then the next agent gets recruited by them, all the way down to the 5th agent, all of those agents are on your downline and you get some kickback. You're only going to get money when they actually are bringing in money. That's why it's actually not a pyramid scheme. A lot of agents sometimes say, hey, this looks like a pyramid, but reality is money only comes in if agents are closing deals, and that's where the money comes in from real estate, regardless of if it's your commission or the commission of an agent you recruited. It's a great opportunity to get a passive income by helping to bring in agents to a really great brokerage model and helping to inform other fellow agents and bring them into a brokerage model that might be the right fit for them. Obviously, the cloud-based brokerage model isn't the best fit for everyone. Some people need an in-person office or prefer to work with clients. There are a few drawbacks to the cloud-based real estate brokerage model. One of the biggest cons of being with a cloud-based real estate brokerage is that you have to be a self-starter. You don't have that in-person touch. You have to build out your own schedule. You have to rely on yourself to build everything out, do whatever you got to do, and stick to it. And you don't have that in-person accountability. And also you won't be able to meet with clients in person either. You won't have that benefit of being able to go to an office and get that motivation from going to the office, or have that to offer to your clients as well. Lastly, one of the biggest cons of a virtual real estate brokerage is that there is a lot more of a learning curve. You have to figure out a lot of things on your own, or contact support or your mentor, and figure out a lot of things online. There's a lot of things set up digitally online and not in person. And you have to figure out how to navigate that, how to find all the resources and training, and do a lot of things on your own and figure out a lot of the tools and resources that these brokerages have. They offer a lot, but it's easy to overlook a lot of those things, especially as a new agent. And there can be a bit of a learning curve for any agent who joins a cloud-based brokerage model, but with time, you figure out how to access those resources. But if you don't think you'll be able to figure out online resources and make a cloud-based brokerage model work, go through all the training and access everything online, then it might not be a good fit for you. But overall, there's pros and cons to both models. With the cloud-based brokerage model, if you can figure out how to build your own schedule and do things on your own, be a self-starter and teach yourself, then it can be a great real estate brokerage model. And there's a lot of great training and support. In the case of Epique Realty, there's the mentorship. So you have that one-on-one support for as long as you need it. And you can access that specifically with an area leader, which is really nice to have. And these brokerages have a lot to offer with a very low cost. The only thing you're really giving up is that in-person touch and that in-person office for accountability. But if you can give yourself accountability and figure out how to work with yourself and hold yourself accountable, then it can be a really great brokerage model for you. Anyways, that's all for today's video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested in joining Epique Realty, there's information in the description down below and in the comments down below.